everyone, and welcome to my Touch Base Thursday for March. I think it's the 14th. I'm just going to give everybody a chance to log in here. I'm an hour earlier than normal, and I'm hoping, had to get ready faster for you guys. So I'm hoping that you guys can all see me okay. I have no helpers here tonight. So I'm just going to give it a minute here for my video to go live and for myself to see. And then we will get started. Hey, there I am. So hi, Janet. Hi, Penny. Yay, it's working. So I've got to tell you guys that most of you know on my last Facebook Live that I announced my computer was on the fritz. And so by fritz, I had no computer that worked for the last week. And so I've been using, borrowing computers, using iPads, and I finally got my computer today, and my tech guy at work fixed it all up for me. So I have my new computer next to me now, and I feel whole again, because I'm telling you what, it's really hard to maintain those posts for you guys, the inspiration for you guys, when I'm out of my routine. So something funny that most of you might not know about me is that I have a planner that has a very detailed to-do list in it. And even with that planner, I was feeling so lost because I didn't have my computer. So anyway, I'm an hour early with all of you. I know a lot of you mentioned to me you wouldn't be able to catch me live. You can watch the replay, but tonight is my daughter Natalie's concert. She's in the band, and last night was my daughter Claire's orchestra concert, and so she is in the orchestra, and so one's one night, one's the next night, and I don't want to miss those things with those girls because they're only little ones, as most of you know who have grown children, me included. I also have one that's grown, so I know how fast that time can go. So anyway, so thank you guys for letting me be an hour earlier with you. We don't always get a lot of, well, we got a lot of notice about their band concerts, but they kind of adjusted their schedule with all of the snow days, and so they kind of changed the marking or the trimester ending, and so just kind of been a mess with all of the different jugglings that's been going on. So anyway, first thing I want to do is remind you guys to share my video. If you're live with me, if you share my video, you will be entered into the drawing to receive goodies. So last week I had a bolt of the, what was it here? The Granny Apple Green ribbon and some dimensionals. And so our winner of the Granny Apple Green ribbon is Shelby Lavrack. So congratulations, Shelby. I'll get that in the mail to you in one of my awesome pink packages. And the winner of the Stampin' Dimensionals is Karen Munson. So Karen, you'll probably get those in a regular envelope because those will fit in with a pretty card and so on and so forth. So anyway, congratulations to our winners. If I don't write you guys' names on these, I forget who got which one. And then I have to go back and look at my own video. So I'm taking a minute to write the names on those. Up for grabs this week for sharing my video is a bolt of the Grapefruit Grove ribbon. Now this ribbon will go really nicely with the Gingham Gala Designer Series paper. Since the Celebration ribbon that was the 5-pack sold out, I've been substituting this in place of the pretty Grapefruit Grove. So you could also do that. And then there's also a package of the leaves, trinkets, embellishments, and these are really fun, really, really fun. So those are the two items that are up for grabs. They're both out of our annual catalog. So I wanted to let you guys know a little bit about what's going on with our occasions catalog, because it's easier to do this kind of stuff in a Facebook Live than it is to do this in a blog post or in a even like a post on my Facebook page. But Stampin' Up! Is starting to have a little bit of issues with their supplier of our framelits. Not severe issue, but an issue that they're resolving quickly, but it is resulting in some of our framelits going out of stock earlier than they anticipated. I will say though, if you look on the back of our occasions catalog, it does say all of the supplies or all of the products in that catalog are while supplies last. So if you were looking at wanting to get the Floral Romance bundle, which is also part of my one of my offerings that I was offering for my online class, the framelits are no longer available. So I actually removed that option from my selection if you were to register for that class. But those are no longer available, and I think there's another one that's going to be close. The Climbing Rose is going to be close to being gone. And then during our celebration coordination, so far the cupcakes are sold out and the frogs are sold out. So if you want those framelits to go with that painted season stamp set or the lasting lily stamp set, get it right away. Those coordination products are going fast. So, but those I think are the main ones that I know about that are sold out. So anyway, and then like I said, the other framelits, they're not going to get them in time for the catalog selling period. So what Stampin' Up! Does is if they're not going to be able to get the products, I think the catalog ends on like June 3rd or something like that, or maybe it's the end of May, I forget. But on the back of that occasions catalog, it will tell you when that catalog ends. If they cannot get the product into their warehouse before that catalog period ends, they will not order it. It would just make sense, because at that point we're all going to be waiting for that new annual catalog to come out. We're all going to be waiting to see what our new in colors are. So, you know, I don't blame them one bit for not doing that. So anyway, but we did get an announcement that they are working with their supplier to minimize this problem going forward, but that there were a couple things from the occasions catalog that they were not going to be able to get in time. So the floral romance, that was as of yesterday. So I know a couple of you, I'm thinking of Tammy, purchased my class. Yours is fine. You're going to be getting your framelits. Those orders went in right away, so that you know, those people that did order that class are going to get those framelits. But going forward, I'm not able to get those framelits for you. So anyway, that's a couple of things I wanted to mention to you. I don't have a whole lot of notes for you guys because I want to get down to my stamping table, because I'm going to try really hard to keep this tonight to about 30 minutes so that I can get in my car and get to the school. The concert starts at 7, but Natalie isn't on until 7:30, so I've got some time. They're saving me a seat, but I didn't want to cancel on you guys because, you know, I love doing this with you guys all and sharing all my awesome projects with you. Now, next week, I'm going to be showing you a stamp set called Family and Friends, which is a really cute, it's near the back of the Occasions catalog, and it's one that I will tell you not a single person has ordered from me. And so I decided to focus on that one and make some cute projects, and I can't wait for you guys to see how I've been a little creative with that stamp set. So make sure you join me next week. It will be 7 o'clock again, right here on this page. But tonight, I'm going to be sharing with you our Tea Together stamp set and coordinating framelits. And those of you that did my online bingo, you heard me say, I haven't played with this one yet. I can now say that I have played with this one, and of course I love it. I'm not a huge teacup kind of person, but these cards that I'm going to be sharing with you and the project that I'm going to share with you is perfect for Mother's Day, for spring tea parties. So it's really perfect for any of that kind of stuff. And then there's also coordinating framelits that go with this. And I had to remake one of my cards real quick because I can't find one of them. But the framelits are a celebration item. So you can only get the framelits right now with a $100 purchase. But I can tell you that we found out that those framelits will be carrying over into our annual catalog that starts in June. And so I was happy to hear that, because you'll be able to keep using them, and I'll be able to, well, you guys can always keep using them, but I don't like to use things that are retired to show all of you, because if you fall in love with it, I can't have you buy it because it's not available. So I always strive to just show you guys things that you can currently get, things that you can duplicate. And oh, I know another thing that is out, because I was going to originally share with you next week the Dear Doily stamp set and bundle, which is a stamp set and coordinating framelits, but those Dear Doily builder dies are also all sold out. So those are the two that are sold out. I knew there was one I was forgetting. So it's the Dear Doily and it's the Floral Romance ones that are sold out. You can't get anymore. So I decided to change gears and not focus on that, and instead focus on that Family and Friends stamp set. So anyway, I'm going to transition down to my camera and show you guys the cards that I want to share with you. And tonight we're going to focus a little bit on the Stampin' blends and how to color with the blends and to get the look that you want, and how, even if you don't like to color, how you can be an amazing, they're going to look at your cards and go, wow, because it's all about how you use the blends and how you use the color lifter with the blends. And I love them. I actually bought all of them for myself because, you know, I want to color with all of those pretty colors. And so my cards are going to focus in on that a little bit, and I'm going to talk to you a little bit about those. We're going to make a card together and then a cute little 3D project that I have to share with you as well. This is the last month of the Stampin' Up! Celebration. So there's still time to do the join promotion for you get $175 of product and pay $99. You can also get a free item with a $50 order, and you can also still host your own class and get an extra $25 in product for a $250 class. So anyway, with that, I'm going to transition my camera down, and I'm going to share with you guys the projects that I have for you. And if you have any questions, let me know. I'm seeing a bunch of you out here sharing away. I love it. And I'm going to move my new computer, I'm so excited, you guys, over so that I can also see you guys' comments and hopefully answer some questions. Now, I will tell you, I probably won't answer many of the questions on the post until later tonight when I get back from the band concert, but I will get back with you as soon as I can. So with that, I am going to transition my camera down to my stamp area, and I am going to share with you some really cute cards and projects. Now, when I designed these cards, I completely did them with Mother's Day in mind because I always do something for my mom for Mother's Day. And so I really wanted to do something, like I said, when I was looking at doing the doily instead, and then I saw that those framelits were going out, I decided that I needed to change my mind and share with you something different that I may not have always picked. This would probably not have been my first choice. But again, because it's not mine, it might be one of your guys' first choices. And so that is why I like to share things with you. Even though they're not personally my favorite, they may be your favorite. So, okay, I have designed one of these cards that I'm going to share with you is actually I actually have my camera a little crooked, so I need to straighten this, you guys. As I was sitting down, I'm like, I can't have it that way. So let me straighten this again. Sometimes I tighten it too much before I'm ready to do that. Okay, that is a little bit better. Okay, so one of the cards that I shared with you guys on my video on my my Terrific Tuesday was this awesome card right here. And this card used the rectangle dies, which I had not talked about a whole lot, but these rectangular dies are really, really cool. So if you don't have them yet, they're awesome. They're similar to our, I can see these becoming a staple in my business the same way as the ovals have, the circles have, because you can do so much with them. And I love that these have the little stitched edge around them. So I had made one of them and then I showcased the other one and did it during my video on Tuesday. So if you have any questions on this card, you can always go back and look at that later. But that is a card that I did on Tuesday. Now this will also be a class that I'll be offering both online and local because again, if I'm going to design something cute, I want to make sure you guys can all get it. If you're not able to purchase the class and you're interested in putting in a minimum $30 order tonight, you will be able to get 3 of these cards for free. Well, actually 2 cards for free and the little project that I'm going to be showing you. And so with that, this is the card we're going to actually be making tonight, and I'm going to actually go into some detail with our blends, and we're going to do some coloring together. And let me show you how I kind of start when I make my cards. So let me bring in the stamp set so you guys can see all of the different components of it. This is the Tea Together. It's available in our Occasions catalog. And then the Tea Time framelits are what is the free item with a $100 purchase. Now, if you are thinking, gosh, that's a lot of money to put this in, you can always wait till the catalog goes live. I know I shouldn't be telling you guys that because I want you guys putting in those amazing orders, but you could always wait for the catalog to go live and purchase these right out of that annual catalog. Another product that I do know will be also carrying over into our annual catalog is this awesome Country Floral embossing folder. Right now you can get that for free with a $50 order. So, but this will also be carrying over. And so what I did when I started making these cards is I wanted them to be simple enough and cute and I really wanted to focus in on the stamp set. And so I started by making, I think I made these 2 first. And then I decided that I needed to incorporate one of the teacups as well. So you can see here in this card, let me bring in this purple one, where I have this different colors right here going on. So I want to explain to you guys how I did that, okay? And this is where you can get very creative with your stamping blends. So what I did, let me bring in my my blends are over to the side here, so I don't have this color out, bear with me here. So this right here this is Coastal Cabana, and I use the Highland Heather cardstock, and then I used the texture tin embossing folder, and then I used the Bermuda Bay markers. These are the Stampin' blends. So on this flower right here, what I did is I colored it with the light blend first, and then I colored it with the dark blend, and then I took the color lifter, I like to call it a bleach pen, and I went on top of it to blend the two together. Now this one right here, all I've done so far is I've colored it with the dark. And so what I want to do is show you that you can also get a similar effect just by using the blender pen. So let me zoom in here a little bit so I can make sure you guys can see this really good. So what I'm going to do is also just use the blender pen. So this is just the dark. So again, this was the light, and then I did the dark, and then went with the blender pen and blended on top of it. This is just the dark, and all I'm going to do is take my blender pen and go a little bit around the area that centers the yellow circle, and I am just going to color this a little bit. And I will show it up here in so you guys can see better in a minute here. But you will see how by doing that, it takes out some of that color, and you have a really awesome effect. It makes it look like, from a distance, it makes that flower look so realistic. And all I did was to remove some of the color, and the color does not go on your color lifter, but that's all I did is remove some of that color. Can you guys see the different colors in there? So again, this one was all done in the light, and then I used the dark in the center, blended on top. This one I simply used the dark, and I took the color lifter and removed some of the color from the center of the flower. Isn't that gorgeous? The different looks that you get. And I'm serious, you guys saw how simple that was. It makes you look like you are an amazing, amazing color. You can color like nobody's, I mean, I'm not that great of a color and doing that kind of stuff, but I love you working with the blends because they just really give you that look. So what we're going to do is we are going to, let me show you what I did in this one. So this one I did something similar. I used the Petal Pink blends, and I did the same thing, the light and then the dark in the center. And this card, I did a Mother's Day card. Actually, these both are Mother's Day cards just because I felt like I need a couple Mother's Day cards. But the card that we are going to make today, I have one more to show you guys. This one right here. So then I decided to incorporate the teacup because I hadn't used the teacup yet. Now this I did not use the color lifter whatsoever. This is just coloring with the blends. This is the Calypso Coral light and dark. I didn't do any blending on that at all. Okay, but this is the card we are going to make together from start to finish tonight, and we're going to blend that flower in a little bit. So I started with a piece of Pool Party cardstock. I love Pool Party and pink together, and so my Pool Party cardstock is the normal size of a card base, the 5.5 by 5.5 by 8.5, and I scored that so I would get a really good crease on that. And then I'm going to put that to the side. I have two pieces of cardstock. This is the 5 1/4 by 4. This is the 5 by 3 3/4. And this is where I use that really pretty textured folder. Did some of you see my post that I put out there a while back? I think it was maybe a couple days ago, where you can actually color this and cut it out and use it as an element on your card. If you haven't, go back to our group page and scroll down. You'll see I've been putting a few tips out there, and it's a really neat way of getting a nice element on your card and maximizing the use of that embossing folder. So if you haven't seen that tip, make sure you go back out there and like it. Also want to make sure all of you watching that you guys have seen I posted a cute little fun contest of sharing with me your favorite color of green cardstock. And I know I posted it a few hours ago on my page here, and basically it was, if you comment your favorite color, you have a chance of winning that color of green cardstock. So just wanted to make sure that you guys saw that. Gotta turn my speaker off. I don't know if you guys heard my computer just go dinging, but you know, new computer, so I forget to do some of these things. So anyway, I just layered those two together like that. And then I used our really pretty polka dot ribbon, which I have to go get because I used it at another table. So bear with me, guys. This is the card that I cannot find. I had a team meeting on Tuesday, and I just put an email out to some of my team because I'm missing a few of my cards, and this was one of them. So I didn't realize that this card was missing until 5:30 tonight, and so I literally whipped the other sample up really quick. While I was still trying to get all of my comments and things together to talk, or my notes together to talk to you guys about. So if I'm a little, I wouldn't say flustered, but a little, yeah, I guess flustered because I couldn't find my card and it totally set me off and put me behind schedule. So anyway, I totally was winging my comments with you guys today. I normally have them all written down, and I didn't this time because I was too busy making my card instead for all of you guys. So anyway, I was using that really pretty white polka dot ribbon, and I love that ribbon. The ribbon is so pretty. And I'm hoping this ribbon carries over because it is just the right ribbon to use for a nice delicate little card. Now most of you know the little trick that I just did there where I put the ribbon on with glue dots, because no one really needs to know that you didn't go all the way around. And then I just go underneath this and I tie this around like so. Oops. Let me see if I can get that in here. There we go. And then if you wanted to, you could just cut those little edges shorter, which I'm going to leave them just like that because I kind of like them like that. And then in advance, what I did is I cut out a, this awesome teapot, and this teapot was from the stamp set. So I used the powder pink ink, and I stamped that out and cut it out with a Big Shot. And I'm not going to actually do that because most of you who watch me, you guys know, yes, Cindy, I do that with glue dots. So I put a glue dot on the end of each ribbon, and I put that right around the side. To me, it saves ribbon, and it makes you look like you're a perfect bow maker, because I'm a lefty and I cannot make bows any other way. So anyway, Diana, thank you for your comment. I'm glad you're finding my tips helpful. So then I cut this out in advance. I just stamped it, cut it out with a framelit. And this, we're going to use some dimensionals and adhere this onto my card. So, and I'm just going to use a couple. You could put a couple more if you wanted to on the handle, little one or whatever, but I find a couple is just good enough. And then in advance, I also stamped the image, which is this awesome flower, and I cut it out. So again, it goes with the framelits. It all kind of goes together, so it makes it really, really nice. Zooming in a little bit more because we're going to bring in some blends, and we are going to color this. And I want to make sure that you guys can all see it. And I'm going to color right here, so you guys, I'm not going to put any kind of grid paper under. I want to make sure you guys can see this pretty good. So I know it's zoomed right in, but I want you guys to be able to see this. So what I always tell my customers when they ask me how to use the blends is I tell them to start with the light shade. Now these two shades are retired. This is the Pink Pirouette, and the Pink Pirouette went away, but I wanted a really nice pink to be able to share with you guys. So and again, I apologize. I normally don't share retired products, but I know there are other colors out there that you could supplement as well. So I'm going to use the Pink Pirouette, the light one. And you guys all probably know that these come double tipped. So you have a more of a broad tip, more of a fine tip. I use the broad tip for just about everything. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to sloppily color. I'm not even making sure I'm in the lines, but I'm going to color all of this flower in with my light pink. And then I'm going to take my dark pink in through here, and I'm just going to add some highlights to this. And you're going to say, wow, that's really making it look dark. You're right, it is, and they really stand out. All these marks are really going to stand out, but wait until you see what that color lifter does. So when my customers purchase their blends, I will tell them, and I'm not one to always say you have to spend money, you have to get this, you have to get that, but that color lifter is a must-have. I mean, if you don't have the color lifter, you're not going to get the effect that you're looking for. And I have to go get my color lifter. I was just using it, you guys. Oh, there it is. I was just using it to make my sample. I told you guys I wasn't quite together tonight. So the color lifter is white, and it also has the same lines. I usually always use the broad tip. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go back on top of those dark lines, and I'm going to blend this in. Now it is going to lift a little bit of the color, but it's also going to, again, make you look like a pro. Look how it kind of covered up those lines. Takes a little while for it to dry, but it kind of like bleaches that color right out and gives it more of a bleeded look versus a thick line look. And from a distance, again, it's absolutely gorgeous. Then I used the Old Olive blends. You have also the light and the dark. And I colored everything in with the light. This time I chose to use the fine tip because I wanted to make sure that it stays inside the lines okay. So anyway, like I said, these blends, I use these more than I do our watercolor pencil, our watercolor markers, just because of the blending, and it makes you look like a professional. And it's all in the magic of that color lifter, in my opinion. So then I'm going to take the dark green, and I'm just going to go right down the center a little bit to kind of give the leaves a little bit of dimension here. And I'm going to pull that in so you guys can see that it looks quite stark by me just doing that. But I'm going to do the whole color lifter trick, and I'm just going to go right down the center of these leaves, right on top of that where that dark line is, and I'm going to do that on all 4 of these leaves. And I'm going to bring this back up into the camera so you guys can see how by doing that totally makes it look so much more realistic. Isn't that gorgeous? So that is kind of how you use your Stampin' blends. From there, I adhered this down with a dimensional and put this onto my card like so. And then we're going to adhere this down to our card base. Remember, we had that pool party card base that we've already cut and have it scored and ready to go. And this is going to go on here like that. And then what I did is I punched out a 1.5 inch circle with the same pink. In advance, I've also stamped and cut out the Happy Mother's Day sentiment. And this is from the same stamp set, the same Tea Together stamp set. But what I want to show you guys is this awesome distressing that you can do around this to give it a little bit more color. So I kind of felt like that was just a little too stark for me. So I'm taking my sponge. We sell these sponges. They come 3 to a pack for $3, $3.50. But I cut them into 8s. And I am just going to distress my edges of this circle. This is fun. I really like doing this. So if you haven't done this part yet with anything, oh, you have to. When I show you guys next month my best catch cards for graduation and Father's Day, you're going to see that I did that a lot. And those cards are absolutely gorgeous. However, they are MIA right now. Those are the cards that I cannot find. They're hiding somewhere with this card. So hopefully I can find them. But anyway, so that is my awesome Mother's Day card. Isn't that beautiful? So anyway, cute card. The next thing I want to share with you is a cute little 3D project that I made and how simple it is to make this. Now, inside of here is a Ghirardelli chocolate, and I'm going to show you how easy this is to put together. This is simply a piece of 2 1/4 by 6 1/4 paper. This is just your petal pink paper. not petal pink, sorry, powder pink paper. So again, it's 2 1/4 by 6 1/4. And then I scored it at 3, and well, I scored it in half, so whatever half of, it's 1/8 of an inch, but I scored it. And then what I did is I stamped on top of it with all of this little stamp that's inside of the stamp set. So instead of using designer series paper, I kind of made my own designer series paper with this stamp right here, okay? So I stamped that on the back of this paper. And then I glue dotted a Ghirardelli chocolate inside of there. And I like to glue dot it in so it doesn't have a chance of falling out. And then using some ribbon, and this ribbon is from our annual catalog. There's a tea, there's a tea set, tea stamp set, tea paper that's in our annual catalog. And that's kind of what I used because I chose to also focus in on the pool party color. So all I did is I folded this in half, and I'm putting the part that's folded through my hole using a hole punch. I just made that hole, and you bring this through. Okay, so it's very easy for them to get into, for them to be able to reuse if they want to eat the chocolate and remake it again. And then I did a little belly band. Now this paper is cut, I want to say it's 1 1/2 by 5, and this paper has little spoons on it, and it came from the tea paper that's in our annual catalog. And my friend Robin told me I should use this paper for my project when I was making it, and I didn't think I liked it, but now I really like it that it's on there. And all I did to make this belly band, so I want to kind of show you guys, is I did not do any scoring on it. I simply wrapped it around and folded it over, and you're going to see that it's not going to quite go all the way that I need it to. That is completely okay, because you'll see why here in just a minute. So before we put the rest of the band together, I want to do and show you how I colored the little teapot, or teacup. So what I did so far in advance, just to save a little bit of time, is I colored this with the light pool party ink, okay? So that is just the light pool party ink. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to, and I'm not going to take the time to color all of this because I know I have to be leaving here in about 3 minutes with you guys. But what I'm going to do is show you again how I'm going to get some depth onto this. So I'm hoping you guys can see this okay. But I'm using this pool party, and I'm just taking the dark one now and coloring in around my edge. I'm going to color down here in this part and down in here. And I'm just adding in, like it's a shadow, some of this dark blue, dark pool party color. And it's going to look really ugly right now, just so you guys know. It's not going to look pretty. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my color lifter. Again, the magic is in the color lifter. I'm not even joking. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to color on top of that dark. And then I'm going to also go right down the center of this entire thing. So I'm bleeding out a little bit of that dark, bleeding in, really focusing on where the two colors come together. And look at that awesome color that you get from that. And that is what I did for this card right here, this one right here, same thing. And then I did the exact same thing with the pink. So I'm going to use the light pink first, and I'm going to color this part right here with my light pink. Hoping you guys can see this okay on my video. But I think with me explaining it, you might get a good idea of how I do that. And then bringing in my dark pink, I'm going to go right along the edges and right along the bottom a little bit. And then bringing back in that color lifter. Can you guys see how that I'm a firm believer in this color lifter? I'm going to go right on top of that, paying attention to my, and if you're, after you do it, you're like, oh, it's still kind of dark, just put some more color lifter on it. But look at how pretty that is. It gives you a really, really good look. Okay, so I am not going to actually take the time to finish the whole thing. Oh, but I didn't cut out that little, this little thing will come right out. It was just from me running it through the Big Shot. But I want to share with you how I finished making this cute little belly band. So what I did is I actually brought in my dimensionals, and I put some dimensionals on the end here and here, and 2 on the other side. So this is a way that you can hold the belly band together without having to actually glue it together if it's pretty close to going around. And I'm going to carefully remove those. Let me take it out of here for a second. And these. just like that. Oops, my ribbon's coming out. There we go. And you don't want to pull that too tight because you don't want to pull it right out of there. But then what you're going to do is you're going to just put this around like so. Kind of hold it in place, not really tight, but hold it in place. And I'm going to bring in my tea cup. And I'm just going to set that right on top of that. Look at that. And you have made a cute little belly band that's already all glued together, nice and cute and pretty, that will fit onto this. Now you could also make this little pouch a little bit bigger. So you could make this a little bit wider and put a tea bag in there if you wanted to. So if you were doing a spring tea or something like that, you could make that for tea parties or for a Mother's Day tea or anything as a little party favor. Or you could also do something cute in there and give this card with this as a gift to someone. Isn't that adorable? So anyway, I'm not going to have time to finish showcasing you guys how I colored all of this. But again, same concept. I did all of the light pink on the flower first, went in with the dark pink, and this one I went in with just a little bit of the pool party. But wouldn't that also be cute on a card? I'm telling you this. And this I actually used, I gotta tell you what I did. I did this stamping and this coloring on Very Vanilla. This one I did on white, and I wasn't gonna change it because I wanted you guys to kind of see the different look that you can get by using the different colors of cardstock. But isn't it awesome? Love it. So anyway, those are the projects that I had to share with you tonight. And like I said, I appreciate those of you that were able to catch me live. I do have to get going so I can get to her concert in time. Remember, if you put a $30 order in from now until, I think I do it for a couple days, you will get 2 of the cards and one of the cute little 3D project with a chocolate in it, absolutely free. This will also be a class that I will be offering next month for those of you that purchase some of my online measurements or online. We're looking at Tammy's comment. Please share measurements. I definitely will. So anyway, so thank you all so very much for watching me tonight. I hope that you've enjoyed that. I will definitely post some measurements for this little project when I get back from the concert tonight, and I'll answer as many of you as I can before her concert starts. So thank you so much, ladies. I look forward to seeing you back here next week. We'll be back at our normal time, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, I have to say now. And I'll be sharing with you some cute projects using the Family and Friends stamp set. So thank you all so very much for joining me tonight. Have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you all soon.